Good morning, Facebook Live, day 37, Hormone Bootcamp. So, quick, today I want to talk about how hormone production and balance is going. Things to look out for, things that you're going to want to pay attention to. So, as you all, if you're following, you know that Sunday evening is when I drank my fat shake. That's basically what I use to, that's the food that I use to produce hormones. Now remember, you can't just drink the fat shake and expect your body to produce hormones. I've done a lot of work to make sure that my body can digest those nutrients. I've done a lot of work to make sure that I have the right gut flora to actually take those nutrients and turn them into hormones. I've done a lot of work to, clean my body up to have the minerals needed for all of this to happen. And so that's what the entire program has been about. So this week, I'm going to basically just demonstrate how I go about it. Every time I do this, it's slightly different. And so I want to share with you some of the things that I look for, so that, when you are at this stage that you know what to expect, what kind of things you are going to be looking for. So again, Sundays when I did the fat shake, and I have the link in the description of this live video to the Facebook Live where I actually show you the entire recipe, how to make it. But basically, so I drank that, during the evening. And so at night, when you sleep, the body needs deep, restful sleep in order for it to produce hormones. And so overnight, that's where, my body produces most of those hormones. And so yesterday I went to the gym. And so things that I look for is today, I push some pretty heavy weights and I don't feel like I am sore. My recovery time is fast. And I slept like a rock last night. I mean, I can tell that my body recovered and I feel, I feel very well rested. That's one of those things that you're going to be looking for is how much energy, how much physical activity can you take on? Because when you're producing hormones, remember, both male and female, you're going to produce testosterone, and testosterone is really what gives you strength. It's what gives you a lot of physical energy, a lot of sexual energy too. You're going to basically feel some of that too. And so these are things that you're going to want to pay attention to. Now, one thing to point out, and just because I know that some people that watch my stuff, they see that I do something that is supposed to be good for you and then they just overdo it. Keep in mind that you can overproduce hormones. In fact, hair loss can be, one of the reasons why people experience hair loss can be both for lack of testosterone and primarily men, but I guess women can, experience this too, is if you overproduce testosterone. So if you have too much testosterone. And so when you're going through this, through these phases, you got to listen to your body. You got to really pay attention to how you're feeling. And remember, it's not just about producing hormones. It's about balancing hormones. So make sure that you're not producing too much either. And so that's why I space my, my days, at least every other day and kind of see how, how things are going. So today, my lineup for today is I just have a ton of water that I'm going to be drinking. Making sure that my body's uptaking all of the nutrients. Remember, fat can take you for days. Fat is a long-term fuel. And so because my body has a lot of that right now, I don't really feel the need to, to eat. And I have a lot of nutrients in me. And today, so my nutrients for today is basically I have a ton of water with minerals. I have blue-green algae with chia seeds. And remember, blue-green algae is basically what I use between blue-green algae, spirulina. These are my sources of a lot of these nutrients that I would normally get from, an animal-based diet like beef organs, beef liver. But now I'm plant-based. And so it's the same exact nutrients, right? I'm getting iron, manganese, selenium. I'm getting like basically everything that I would find in the beef liver. And then I also have my Ayurvedic herbs and adaptogens, which also have a lot of these nutrients, coenzyme Q10. But this is where these Ayurvedic herbs and adaptogens really, really shine. This is where you really want to use them. I mean, adaptogenic herbs will help you prepare for nutrient absorption, but when you're at this stage, this is where you're going to notice adaptogens and Ayurvedic herbs really kick in. Because, for example, I just put my body through a lot of stress physically by lifting weights yesterday. And so today, by taking my Ayurvedic herbs, I'll be loading myself up with more, like turmeric. I have a turmeric chai tea at home. So when I get, home tonight, that's what I'm going to be drinking, a lot more turmeric, because turmeric's really good for reducing stress, both physically and mentally. So that's basically, what my plan is for today. I'm going to fast for the most part. I have my probiotics, and so I'm not going to take those until about 3, maybe 4 p.m. My blue-green algae, I'll probably do it somewhere around noon, maybe 2 p.m. I don't know. I'll see how it feels. I'm mostly going to be drinking a ton of water and minerals throughout the morning. And that's pretty much it. I'm just going to feel my body, see how it recovers. And like I said, I'm already feeling like well recovered. I'm not sore. I took about a week and a half break, from the gym. And usually when you go back the first time, you wake up the next morning, feeling extremely sore. I'm not experiencing that right now. And a lot of that also has to do with the fact that I've been mostly ketogenic. A lot of the soreness that people get when they exercise comes from starch. Starch stiffens you up. I mean, if you want to iron clothes and make the clothes stiff and crisp, you spray starch into them. And that's basically what a lot of people are eating when they're eating a carb heavy diet. It's basically a lot of starch, and you feel that same kind of stiffening of the muscle. It's the same kind of thing. So anyways, because I haven't had that in my diet, that's another reason why I don't feel sore and I feel like I'm well recovered. And that's really one of the reasons why I enjoy doing all of this health stuff. It's, it wasn't just, it started really because I was just not living. I mean, when you can't even get off the couch, when you don't have energy to do that, when you have brain fog that you can't function, I couldn't even run my business. That was a big driver for me to change my health and do a lot of these things that I'm doing now. After you get over some of these issues, though, you have to find other reasons to keep going, because once you lose a reason why you are doing this is why people quit. This is why a lot of people started this program and quit. And it's not that they quit, is that they just haven't learned to drive themselves. This is something that I've had to learn myself. How do I take control of the mind, which really dictates everything that you do? How do I take control of that to make my body act in ways that are going to move me forward, hold fast, stay true? It really starts by setting a goal, knowing what you want, and then figuring out a reason why. The more reasons why, that's what's going to drive you. And so these are things that I'm going to be talking about moving forward, because some of the things that I've learned through this process is that doing a lot of these hormone production and like improving my health and vitality, what I've learned is that it helps your body produce, like hormones like testosterone, things like that. I call that like sex energy, right? It's like a physical energy. And if you're into meditation or anything like that, or if you're not, just Google chakras. And basically what is going to show you is the energy points of the body. And what you're going to learn is like the sex energy is like the low frequency of the body. That's the physical energy. And that's basically what you are learning to do when you're producing hormones. You're learning how to produce more energy, more physical energy, right? This is what makes you active. This is basically what moves the body. But then you have to learn to take that energy and raise that energy so that you can use your creative side of your body, your mind. That's something that people don't talk about. But when you actually learn to do that, that's where hormone balance, that's That's the skill of hormone balance. Hormone balance is not about taking supplements, not about taking Ayurvedic herbs or anything like that. I mean, that helps, but eventually you have to transition from that into calming your mind, reducing mental stress. That's the one side that I don't see many programs talk about. And so that's basically what I'm going to be talking about after Hormone Bootcamp is over. But for now, I'm going to finish this week and just basically show you how I go about it. But this is pretty much it. I'm coming to a stoplight, so I'm just going to wait so I can show you my my drinks, and then I'll call it a day. So hold on a second here. All right. I'll pull this up here. So here's the blue-green algae, and you can see all the chia seeds. So that's kind of like a source of protein for me. And then I just have my probiotics and water and my Ayurvedic herbs. So for my probiotics, I have coconut shavings, I have raspberries, goji berries, mango slices, and then I have my Ayurvedic herbs, which you guys have seen. So, but anyway, so that's it. That's all that I've got for today. I'll be doing another hormone shake tonight and basically see how it goes. And I'm just going to basically feel my body, and I'll let you guys know how everything's going. But hope you guys are, learning from this. And this is basically me doing it. This is how it's going to look for you. So hope it's helpful, and I will talk to you guys later.